We get messages at Ben and Kelly Show all the time. We got this message from Ashley.
Hey, Ben and Kelly, can I ask you guys something?
Okay.
Do you have any strange rules at your work? I know you've said that you're not allowed to say bad words on the air and stuff, but anything else? I wouldn't call that a strange rule.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the FCC sort of thing.
Yeah. Exactly. I ask because me and my work besties were just talking about the last memo that came from our work. Our company now requires that employees clock out if they want to have a non-work conversation.
Oh.
So yeah, fun and already breaking that new rule, LOL. Anyway, was curious if you guys or any of your other listeners have crazy rules at work. Thanks. Love your show. Wow, they have to clock out to talk about something that's not work related. That is much.
Well, that and a lot. I feel like a lot of times those happen casually and spur of the moment sort of thing.
Right. And then I'd literally be clocking in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out for 30 seconds all day long.
Yeah. And again, it's like one of those things where there's a rule for a reason. So somebody obviously was taking advantage or not doing work and just sitting there talking about stuff that was not work related. And so the manager finally was like, that's it. You got to clock out if you're going to talk about anything non-work related.
But isn't that a little on the honor system? I mean, unless you have a manager hovering behind you the entire day listening to what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, and yes,
hard to enforce.
Probably is one of those more hard to enforce ones where
they're trying to make a statement.
It's trying to make a statement. And if you're a manager walking by and you overhear a conversation that's non-work related, then you're like, did you clock out? And then you're that manager.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I can't imagine that would foster a really awesome morale at work.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's one of those things where you've got to take the person that is
the violator,
and just pull them aside and be like, hey,
you gotta get more work done. Less talky.
Less talky. Yeah. Yeah. And if otherwise, you're going to need to clock out. Yeah,
yes.
Making it just a rule based on just one person. But
do people clock out when they go take a break? Like a lot of people I know take smoke breaks still or take a coffee break. Do you clock out for that?
Well, I know a lot of places that make you clock out if you're going to take a smoke break or something, or even take your 10-minute break or whatever. And yes,
because a lot of people build in breaks during the workday, but do they make them clock out and not get paid for them?
Well, yeah, I think a lot of businesses do that. Yeah.
Wow.
Where it's not necessarily called a smoke break anymore. And so it's more, where other employees who don't smoke can just take advantage of taking a break.
Take a break and go check your social media.
Yeah, where it's like every, 3 hours or whatever. All right, you can go take your 10-minute break or whatever. And you grab something to eat or whatever and you clock out. But and I don't know anybody else. I was thinking about the weird rules like we put rules in the studio where no swearing in the studio.
Yes,
because that has bitten us before. Because
it could accidentally go on the air. Yeah, if exactly. The mics go on, you didn't realize it.
Right. So here at the station, it's kind of like, hey, no swearing in the studio has always been a rule where, because you just never know when there are mics on or things like that. So
well, and do you remember a long time ago we were owned by a certain group that required everybody to work a 9-hour day, and then they specified, all right, you can't time your lunch hour to be the last hour of the day and just leave early. They wanted you to take a lunch hour and then you had to come back to work for that last hour or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was really stringent for a radio lifestyle when we were all supposed to be
when we were
going out having a life to talk about on the air. Yeah, exactly.
Well, how am I supposed to do other stuff if I'm stuck here?
Exactly. Well, that was the whole point. It's like we were supposed to go out and be living a life and having experiences that we can bring to the radio show and be relatable and all the things. And we were stuck in the office, with the time clock kind of situation. So that was an interesting period of time.
So got any weird rules at your work? 502-795-1997. Got a message. I used to work for a a fast food type restaurant, and they had this confusing rule where you could drink as much soda or tea as you wanted for free if you brought your own cup.
Oh, nice.
If you took one of their cups, you had to pay full price.
Oh, wow. Not even a discount?
No, I guess not.
Well, just bring your own cup and you're good.
Yeah. So I guess maybe they were just trying to cut down on like waste at their own expense.
Yeah.
I get that.
I mean, that makes sense.
I guess I get that. Yeah. Another person messaged, no microwaving fishy foods was an actual office rule.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? To be honest, though, that smells a special kind of awful. So I get it. And then that smell kind of lingers, especially if your kitchen is kind of in the center of the office. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but are you supposed to eat cold salmon?
No, you shouldn't. And fish is healthy for you. So I get the pushback on that, too.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've been guilty of that. I've heated up salmon in the microwave, the work microwave before.
So bougie. I'm bringing salmon.
Sorry, salmon is bougie.
It is so bougie
I feel
for
like
lunch.
Salmon is the cow of fish.
I feel like salmon is, or any sort of like that. That's a dinner food. I think that's really bougie for lunch. Like I'm more of a sandwich or
I'm a leftovers for lunch type of person.
Well, sure, okay,
so I just eat
works.
Leftovers.
But okay,
I'm not taking like and making myself salmon dishes to just take to lunch.
Okay,
no, it's
less bougie if it's leftover salmon.
Yeah, thank you. All right, great. All right, 502-795-1997. Would love to hear some of your weird office rules. We'll take some of those next. Have any weird work rules? Kelly is I can't believe we had to work 9 whole hours and take a lunch.
That was a weird time period for me. It was a weird time period because I was one that wanted to just I'll just eat at home.
Yeah.
I'll just work 8 hours and go home.
Well, listen to this. We got a message. Worked at a call center. We were told that we cannot take on any extracurricular activities such as talking to a coworker next to you, drawing, reading, a magazine or book, knitting, or anything else that was not productive to the task at hand. Our duty was to be 100% committed to the customer. If there was some available time in between the calls that we took, this would be a great opportunity to brush up on the sales or promotional knowledge to better serve the customers.
Wow.
Oh, and the bathroom was a privilege, not a right.
A privilege? What if nature calls?
Wow.
The Lord made your body, so it's got to work in a certain way, and you can't deny that.
Got another message. Had to take 2 weeks off at my job if you wanted to grow facial hair.
I'm sorry.
So wait,
what?
You're going to need to expand on that.
Yeah, I need some explanation.
Because is it your work didn't want to see the stages of it, or wanted to see okay, you need to go through that phase without us and then come back clean shaven? Or do they want you clean shaven and then go, and then all right,
poof, beard?
There you are, beard, right?
Fully formed beard.
Or fully formed mustache. We don't want to see any of the scruff.
That is
really kind of funny.
That is really kind of picky. Haley says, don't poop in the bathroom upstairs, go downstairs every time for number 2.
Well, I'll tell you, there are some official company rules, and then there are some in the office rules that don't get written down, but everybody knows.
Right.
Yeah.
Just an understanding. Just an understanding.
It's an understanding that everybody goes downstairs.
Oh, Tony says, when I was in EMT, we had a rule that we could not start IVs on coworkers when they were hungover.
That's how my best friend survived med school. Legit, he would
about Mike?
Yes, he would roll through and do his calls or whatever.
Yeah, I need a little juice. I need a little juice to help me out.
He would walk with the IV.
Are you kidding?
And visit patients' bedside.
Listen, how disconcerting though is it for the patients if your doctor rolls up attached to an IV? I'd be like, do you have your own situation you need to handle before you try to handle mine? That's what I would think.
Another listener said, I also worked in a call center where you had to raise a red cutout cardboard helping hand if you needed a supervisor's assistance on a call. You had to hold the hand up or else your lack of team cooperation would be mentioned on your coaching plan thing. And you were then coached on how to achieve that behavior.
Are you serious?
Wow.
I get if you're you don't want the customer to hear, like, hey, hang on just a sec, let me ask my manager or whatever. So like just silently signaling, hey, can you come on over? I need assistance. I kind of get that, but it seems a little hardcore with the enforcement. Like if you don't do this, this is what happens. Wow.
Oh, and then Mike messaged us and said, once had a job at a company with a keg of beer always on tap in the cafeteria. Rules as in it ruled. Oh, all right.
Oh,
yeah,
that's fun.
I get it.
That was a good rule.
That was a good rule. That was. And someone said someone at my job poured coffee and got burned. So then we got a new rule that said employees had to wear face shields to pour coffee. Wow.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Oh, that is because one person couldn't do it right. Got a little splashy.
Oh, I was okay. And then we'll end it on this. And I was kind of waiting. I was waiting until one of you said this. Yeah, apparently there is a rule that you're not allowed to sleep with the boss's wife. Used to do it all the time at my old job. Bunch of weirdos here.
It wasn't written down in the handbook.
It wasn't written down. Oh, shoot. All right. Good stories. Thank you. I guess, you know what? If you're at a job that doesn't have any of those, feel lucky.
Yeah. Appreciate your workspace, your coworkers, and your boss.